Yo, what's happening, people? Wow, it's been a minute since I said that. Welcome back to Grix Talks. Yeah, it's been a minute since I made content. Obviously, the last time I made a video, I believe was the Europa League final, and I did say I was gonna go on a nice hiatus after that because I didn't really want to talk Man United. And honestly, it's been a good, actually exactly 2 months from today. It's been a good 2 months away from Manchester United. It's been a good 2 months away of thinking about football, sports in general. Because that same day, the last time I recorded, the Knicks had probably one of the worst losses I went through as a sports fan. That day was just terrible in terms of sports. But yeah, I'm back. Obviously, footy season's kind of back. Obviously, I know we had the Club World Cup for the past month, which I actually did watch. But I just didn't make content on it. But it was but that was a good tournament. And yeah, but footy season's back. United unfortunately was back on Saturday. A lot of transfer news popping off. Obviously, there's two that we're gonna talk about that are in the title. But yeah, a lot to talk about. But I hope everyone's been good. I hope everyone's been enjoying their summer. I actually have been enjoying my summer. Try not to stay home too much, going outside. I am going to Greece tomorrow. So I'll be gone for 2 weeks again. But yeah, I figured, you know what? Right before I leave, because I'm gonna be gone for 2.5 weeks, I'm like, let me make a video because we had some big news over the weekend. And we're gonna talk about it. Obviously, Marcus Rashford going to Barcelona and Brian Mbeumo officially going to officially joining Manchester United, as well as maybe a couple other news from other teams. Liverpool, Ekitike, Arsenal, Madueke, and yeah. Also gonna talk about how it was to watch PSG live in the flesh because I actually was at that game. Shout out Will, he was at that game too, and I know he was miserable watching Real Madrid lose 4-0. He could hold that, but yeah, hope everyone's been good. Just pop off in the comments any questions you guys know I always answer and stuff like that. And yeah, good to be back. Let me know how the mic is, by the way. Obviously, no upgrades or anything. That's for later when we get back, maybe. But yeah, we're gonna start off with Marcus Rashford. Also, before we do that, I'm gonna make comments. My boy Buck Season from Twitter. I know you just liked my tweet. But yeah, we're here. Lieutenant General JJ was good. But they was good. Regista Kev, you're still AO. Hope you been good, my boy Mustafa. Hope Marcus smashes it. Nick's hype for real, man. Nick's hype for real. We're gonna talk about Sesko as well. I forgot about to put that in the title, but yeah, we'll talk about Sesko. We're paying top dollar to see his team get destroyed. Yeah, bro, who can hold that, man? No one deserves to watch their team lose live more than Will. No one. Everyone. I know RSM. I know you was at what's it called? I know you was at the Chelsea games. I'm glad you saw your team won. Obviously, Chelsea won the Club World Cup. Congrats to them. But yeah, Will saw his team lose live, man. Thanks for him. But yeah, Marcus Rashford is joining Barcelona. Rashford Nation, we tried to talk this into existence, right? We talked about this in January. We talked about this last summer. We said Marcus Rashford's talked about this for a couple of years. The club that he wanted to join most if he left Manchester United would be Barcelona. He grew up a Barcelona fan. I don't know how he grew up a Barcelona fan, by the way, considering what they did to us. But oh, look who it is here. Saeed TV in the building. Rashford really got Griggs out of retirement. Yeah, man. Retirement, Everyone's gotta make a comeback eventually. But yeah, shout out Saeed, man. I hope you're doing good over in Manchester, bro. But yeah, Rashford talk about going to Barcelona, and a lot of people said he'll never join Barcelona. Obviously, we had Teddy Sheringham last week said that Rashford does not deserve a Barcelona move. He could hold that as well. I hope Sky Sports put the camera on him right when that deal got announced. But yeah, it's a loan with the option to buy. Barcelona is covering all of Rashford's wages. He'll take a wage cut to kind of make that deal kind of happen from that financial standpoint. And it's a good move for all parties. For Manchester United, obviously Rashford no longer had a home here. There was no point of anyone kind of begging for him to come back. Even I gave that up. There's obviously no spot for him here. And thankfully, he got the move that he wanted. Obviously, he had the long move at Villa, which was semi-successful. He had some good highs at that club. Everyone remembers the performance against PSG. But then there were also a couple injuries and stuff like that. And Rashford's not 100% fit a lot anymore. He's not the same player he was 5 years ago. But he now has arguably probably his last chance at a big club. He got the move that he wanted. And I'm happy for him. But now it's up to Marcus Rashford. There is no more excuses from this point forward. You're joining one of the 5 best clubs in the world, performance level, the second biggest club in the world behind Real Madrid. You're joining probably one of the best attacking coaches that we have seen in the past decade in Hansi Flick, who makes attackers just raise their level to a whole different level. We saw what he did for Rafinha, turn him into a Ballon d'Or candidate. We see how much joy and love for the game Lamine Yamal has under Hansi Flick. We saw Lewandowski go from still one of the better strikers in the world when he joined Barca under Xavi, but then Hansi Flick came back. We all know their connection from Bayern Munich, and he went back to scoring 40 goals in a season. Ferran Torres turned into a usable super sub and also started some games for Barcelona. Fermin Lopez getting joy. Dani Olmo getting joy. So Hansi Flick will get the best out of you, an attacker. But it is now up to Marcus Rashford to also be locked in. Not only are you joining Barcelona, but of course, it is also a World Cup year. And he has somewhat lost his spot. In my opinion, I still think he's England's best left winger when he is fit and performing at his best. I still think he's better than Anthony Gordon. I still think he's better than Madueke. Who else plays on the left for England? Phil Foden, if he plays on the left. I think Marcus Rashford is England's best left winger. At Barcelona, he's going to play probably between left winger and striker. I think Lewandowski is also obviously had a great season last year, but Lewo's body's also breaking down. Not at a quick rate, but still breaking down somewhat. So he's going to get minutes there. He's going to get minutes on the left. Rafinha also likes to play central, and Hansi Flick can now use him more centrally, maybe ahead of a Pedri de Jong pivot, Casado coming back. A lot of options for Barcelona. With this move, obviously, from a Barcelona standpoint, you're getting someone that at his best is a game changer. And you're getting that for just salary-wise. You're just paying him a salary. You don't have to pay a loan fee, nothing. You just got to pay him 250 bags a week. He's getting paid starter wages. I think he is now the 5th highest paid player at Barcelona currently on their books. So if you can get a Rashford that performs, let's say, 70% of the time the way he performed against PSG, you're getting one of the best. You're getting one of the better wingers in world football, especially on that side the left side, because the right side is obviously stacked with talent these days, but the left side is losing a little bit of love. But Marcus Rashford at his best can do damage, and not only that, Marcus Rashford at United had to face a lot of double teaming because he was arguably the only threat in that attack for a long time. I might obviously had some joy last year, but Garnacho wasn't the threat. At Barcelona, we saw what the what's it called? Just the gravity of a Lamine Yamal and how much of presence he demands on the right-hand side, but how much free space is on that left-hand side for Marcus Rashford. Obviously, Bruno's different, though. Bruno's in the midfield. But I'm talking about in the front three. Lewo's going to command because he's Lewandowski. The center backs are going to be focused on him. Marcus Rashford's going to have a lot of joy, a lot of 1v1 opportunities. And it's not the Premier League. It's La Liga. And no disrespect to La Liga, but the La Liga fullbacks are not the Premier League fullbacks. I saw what Man United did last year to La Liga fullbacks. And Marcus Rashford actually is, if you guys didn't know the stat, he's the highest scoring Manchester United player against Spanish opposition. He does love to feast against Spanish opposition. So in my opinion, I think he's going to get joy. But again, it's up to Marcus Rashford because on the ball, my worries aren't there. But again, now we're going to talk about off the ball. And I have been a critic of Marcus Rashford in the past when it comes to off the ball pressing. You are probably playing from probably the most demanding pressing manager in world football, besides maybe a Pep Guardiola. Hansi Flick demands pressing. And when we talk about Rafinha on the ball is really good. But what separates him last year especially was the off-the-ball work that Rafinha did on that left-hand side. Because behind you on the left wing, at left back, you're going to have Alejandro Balde, who's one of the best up-and-coming flying fullbacks. He's going to be bombing up and down that pitch. But you're also going to be providing him some cover at points. But I'm excited for that dynamic as well because I saw what Luke Shaw and Rashford did at their optimal best. Balde is obviously a lot younger, a lot more energetic, and he will be on that overlap. And I think Rashford, when he has an overlapping fullback, is at his best because he likes that little disguise pass, a little through ball to the fullback. I think it's going to be really dangerous, man. And I'm really excited to watch Barcelona. That jersey will be copped. I promise you that Barcelona Rashford jersey. There's one that's coming out with a Kobe Bryant badge on the top left, which is going to be cold as well. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be a great move. I think for Manchester United, obviously, I saw Paul Pogba talk about it yesterday as well. For Man United, at the end of the day, it was time to leave. I've been saying it's time to leave. It's time to leave. It's time to leave. And I'm glad he got his move for Manchester United. We're going to talk about Rashford's replacement, not just in position, but in jersey number as well. It was just a move that had to happen, and I'm glad Rashford got his move. I don't have to hear about Rashford when it comes to – actually, we'll be hearing it, but we're not to hear it as much. It's just a topic of toxicity that no longer has to be associated with for this year. And I'm praying that Rashford cooks to the point that Barcelona trigger that option, which apparently I think is 30 million euros, so about 25 million pounds, if I believe correctly. And then we're gone. He had his time at Manchester United. In my opinion, he goes down as the most successful 21st century. Him and Pogba are the most successful 21st century academy graduates from Manchester United, in my opinion, in terms of performance level. He's probably the first successful academy graduate that I have seen at Man United from their beginning of their career to present day. I didn't watch Scholes' whole career. Obviously, I was not born. Ryan Giggs, Gary Neville, Beckham, all them boys. Pogba, but we saw his whole career as well. But he also left the Juventus like after 5 appearances at United. From day one, Manchester United. He's not a legend of Manchester United. I don't think he's a legend on the pitch. He didn't win the major trophies. But in terms of Carrington, in terms of academy legends, I think Marcus Rashford is one of the best stories that has ever come out of Manchester United Academy. And he lived this time here. Obviously, in an alternate universe, him, Pogba, Martial, Bruno, they win the big trophies. That didn't happen at Manchester United. I will forever place majority of the blame for why Manchester United, a couple of these, the trio, let's forget Bruno for a second, the trio that they had of Pogba, Bruno, Martial at all perfect ages to build around, and we didn't. I blame that on Manchester United themselves, not the players. Because you had a trio that you had that perfect opportunity to build around, and you didn't. Yeah. What you Rashford fans don't understand. I do agree with that. At some points, Rashford's biggest enemy is himself, and I agree. And like I said, I need Rashford to cook. I demand him to cook now. This is his last opportunity at a big club. I don't know. He's never gonna play for a bigger club than Barcelona. And he got the out from Man United. He got his dream move. Now it's up to him. No more excuses. There is no more excuses. It's up to him to cook. But yeah, that's enough about Marcus Rashford. He is free from United. I at some point I do agree that he is free. I think he needed to leave, and I'm also glad he left the country of England. England is the most miserable country in the world. I generally believe English people are miserable. I don't know what it is, but I wholeheartedly believe they are miserable. I think a lot of you people, a lot of Brits, if they just leave Britain, they leave the UK and they move to a happier country, I think that just their personality is gonna shine. It will be so much happier in life. Also, leaving football sometimes you gotta ignore football for 2 months. When me ignoring football for 2 months from a large scale, obviously I saw on Twitter, but just not talking about it, focusing on work, focusing on life, bro. I genuinely believe we just need a break from football at times. And a lot of the English media is miserable. Maybe not English people, but English media is miserable. I wholeheartedly believe English media specifically is miserable. Teddy Sheringham is a miserable person. But then he got his move. He left. Everything's done now. Now, Manchester United. I watched tidbits of the preseason game against Leeds. I'm gonna be real. Still not impressed. As someone said, is it still Senor Amorim? I'm Amorim out. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't think he's a good coach. And I'm of the belief that if Manchester United get rid of him in quick succession, because I think the season's gonna be shit to start, and you just get a good manager, just does the basics right, including coaching up press, coaching just basics. I do think there is a starting 11 at Manchester United, depending on who they sign as striker, that can actually work. Not saying it's going to be a world beater, still not UCL level, like top 4 level, top 5 level if you want to go with that, but something that can finish in the top 8. Because as it currently stands, I have Man United finishing between 10th and 12th. I do not think United finish above 10th as it currently stands. Obviously, 1 game a week will absolutely help. More time on the training ground. But what does more time on the training ground really help when the tactics aren't there? And like Badai mentioned, the midfield, the center back in the midfield, I just don't like what I see. I think there are some good players at Man United. I think the stigma around the squad that is complete dog shit, I don't think is completely true. I think defense was solid for the most part. Midfield is a worry. That is absolutely a worry. The midfield is diabolical beyond Bruno and Mbeumo and parts of Casemiro. I think Ugarte is so horrible at the sport of football. Ericsson's gone. Mason Mount is absolutely useless at the sport of football. That's it. So you got two DMs that can't pass the ball, or two TMs that can't pass at least short. Casemiro has a long pass, but two DMs that aren't progressive enough, in my opinion. You have Bruno. Is that league finish? That's league finish if Amorim stays the full season. I think we finish between 10th and 12th. I think if United can get a good coach in, I don't know who that coach is, by the way. Don't ask me who I think that coach is. I don't know. I think this squad, again, is predominantly built for 4 at the back, 4-2-3. I think Cunha is a good signing. And I'm going to talk about Cunha and Mbeumo. I think you signed two of the better Premier League attackers that you really realistically could have signed. I think probably the two best you could have signed. I don't think United could have signed better attackers from the Premier League than Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo. That's realistic. You're not going to sign Isak, right? You're never going to sign the big boys at Arsenal in a Bukayo Saka. You're not going to sign Cole Palmer, all that kind of stuff. You signed probably the two best attackers outside of the big clubs, right? And Mbeumo and Cunha. They're going to bring you goals. If they don't bring us goals, then just fold the club. Literally fold the club. Just fold it. Just put it in the bin. Now, striker. Rasmus Højlund is still somehow employed at this football club. I don't know how he's still employed, but he's still employed. Garnacho, Sancho, Antony are in isolation. They got sent to a purgatory island. They got sent to Alcatraz. They're no longer part of the football club. So in attack, you have Xerxes, Højlund, Ahmad, Cunha, and Mbeumo. I think that's 5 players, right? I just mentioned. I think 4 of them are good. Okay, 3 of them are good/great. One of them can be good. The other one is just not it. Now, United are linked with a few strikers, right? You have Ollie Watkins, you have Nico Jackson, you have Benjamin Sesko. Oh, Cheeto. Yeah, he's still raw. I think he would benefit from a loan personally. Is there any other strikers? Mateta we were linked with a little bit in the beginning, but that died out, unfortunately. Moise Keane scouts look, but I think Jackson, Watkins, Sesko. I think those are the 3. If I were to rank the 3, personally, how I would do it is Nico Jackson 1, Ollie Watkins 2, Benjamin Sesko 3. Now, Sesko's a tricky one, right? Because Sesko can't end up being fantastic. Kolomwani, unfortunately, is not part of the list because I think the links died down after. Once we didn't get him in January, I don't think we really reintegrated the interest. But hopefully that would be that's another option. I think Mateta and Kolomwani would be fantastic options for the price. Sesko probably has the best potential of the 3, but me and Staffy was talking about this last night. Shout out Staffy, bro. Just remember to subscribe. Just give it up. Sesko's potential is through the roof, but we're talking about a club that reaching your potential at said club and in this current day and stage is slim to none. Slim to none. For that reason, I don't want Sesko. Sesko to me screams ultimate flop. I am 100% sure that Sesko flops at Manchester United. Can he strike the fuck out of a ball? Absolutely. But he's still very raw. And for the price, I know they're talking about you could pay it off in installments, blah, 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 blah. No. Just no. But the thing is, Arsene, I really think Darwin Nunez is better because I think Darwin Nunez has better understanding for the game. Like he can create chances. He'll average like 4 or 5 shots. By the way, Sesko only averages 2.5 shots per 90. Well, what is my biggest criticism of Højlund? It's not that he can't trap a ball. He doesn't shoot enough. For all the God-given talent he got given in terms of shooting the football, he doesn't do it enough. That means that he doesn't know how to find his shot. No, thank you. I don't want that. Now, Nico Jackson. I know he's the controversial one because a lot of people don't want Chelsea rejects again after what happened with Mason Mount. Fair point. Fair enough. I respect it. But I think Nico Jackson, for who you have next to him, it's the best. You have goal scorers in Cunha and Mbeumo. Both of those guys can give you 15. So what do you need up top? You need someone that can facilitate that. And yes, I understand we already have Joshua Xerxes. But I do think that Nico Jackson's a better striker than Joshua Xerxes. I think he's just able to create more chances for himself. And obviously Nico Jackson have Cole Palmer, so I'm not gonna say Mbeumo or Cunha are better than Cole Palmer. But combined, if you combine both wings, and Cunha and Mbeumo, that's better what Nico Jackson will be playing with, and also a Bruno Fernandes behind him than a Neto and Palmer, right? I think you saw the relationship that Nico had with Cole Palmer. I actually think it was a very, very, very good relationship. I think he would fit. Mateta, I would love Mateta. I think Mateta is the one that United should be going for. I really think Mateta should be the one United going for. However, it doesn't think United wants to do it. Maybe because of age, but this is the reason why United turned down Guirassy, I think 12 months ago or 18 months ago. I think Nico Jackson's a good fit. I think that facilitating striker. Yes, Xerxes passing wise is probably better, but at the end of the day, you're still a striker. I still need you to hit the football. I think Jackson's a little bit better than Joshua Xerxes. I think Mateta in terms of his strength and stuff like that would be even better. I think he's a bully. I think United need that striker. And I think, in my opinion, this is what my ultimate aim is. I think United should go for a stopgap striker or someone that starts right now. But in 12 months' time, I think the kid from Porto, Chelsea almost signed him, Stamu, Transformer, I think he should be the one that United go in for. In my opinion, I think he's the best attainable young striker that United can really get on the market. So next year, go all in for him. And this year, go get the Jackson, the Mateta. I think Jackson's going to end up being too expensive. I don't really like Ollie Watkins. I think Mateta would be perfect. I think Nico would be perfect. Even a Kolomwani on loan, and maybe you could turn it into an obligation type shit. I think, in my opinion, you need someone like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to destroy the lick, to be honest. But anyway, I think United should be going for that. And then from that, I think playing one game a week, I think your attack is good. You have Ahmad, you'll have Xerxes. Hopefully you send Hoyland to Alcatraz alongside other people. You have Cunha, you have Mbeumo. I think there's better names. I like this trend of Premier League proven players. I think in order for United to get back to the top, that's going to take a very long time. But for United to get back to UCL level, I think signing your Cunha and Mbeumo level players, I think is good, especially when you're playing one game a week. I think just go get those guys, man. The aim of this season, as much as United fans are going to hate to see this, bro, just get back to. First of all, be hard to play against. That's the first aim. Second of all, get back to top 8. Top 8. I know Amma said the goal is top 5, but there's too many good teams in the Premier League. Top 8. And then we go again from there. You're going to have to do a Chelsea. What did Chelsea do? RSM, you finished 12th. And then you went to 6th, I believe, under Poch. And then you got the 4th place after that. That's... as much as United fans hate to see, bro, we cannot go from 17th or 16th or 15th, whatever the fuck we finished last year, to 4th. It's not going to happen. We do not have the squad for that. We also do not have the coach for that. It's going to have to be a little bit of a more steady climb. And I think if you sign the Premier League players, or if you go to the other leagues and you sign them for a good price, I think you'll be all right. I really do think so. I think that's what United needs to aim. From a recruitment standpoint. Midfield. God help me, this midfield is garbage. Basura. We need help. We need reinforcements ASAP. Sekou Kone needs to get minutes. I think he's ready. Mainu, loved what I saw against Leeds. Looked fantastic. Expansive passing range. He is the key to the midfield. Amarim, if I see Kobe Mainu on the bench game 1, I'm crashing out. I'm generally crashing out. Kobe Mainu is the future of this football club in the midfield. It is Kobe Mainu. And yes, by the way, I was not here for when we had the whole Bruno saga of 100 mil. My take, I'm gonna keep my take short and sweet. Are United stupid for not taking 100 mil? Absolutely. Is Bruno Fernandes stupid for not taking the Al Hilal money? Absolutely. What are you doing staying to play with Manuel Ugarte? What is wrong with you? Would that money have changed our lives? Probably. Do I trust Ineos to reinvest it into the best Not really. Yeah, whatever. But midfield need reinforcements ASAP, and we do not have the money. However, there is always options. I'm gonna go to the championship. I'm gonna go shopping. Hayden Hackney, 20 mil from Middlesbrough. Get it done. I'm not asking for Baleba. I'm not asking for what I like Amadou Onana. However, if we can Garnacho, and this is where we add Garnacho to the mix. With Garnacho, you can cook the books a little bit. Do a swap. Go to a club that is interested for Garnacho and see what midfielder you can go back with. Now, Chelsea want Garnacho. Try to finesse an Andre Santos. If they say no, that's calm. You move on. Aston Villa want Garnacho. Now, there was a player that Aston Villa sold. Enzo Barranquilla would have been perfect, but 15 mil, but United, sleep, Amadou Onana, Boubacar Kamara. See what you can cook with. Oh, next summer, you got to pay again for a midfielder. Let's listen to this. United needs to buy a midfielder every single summer. I don't give a fuck until you have 6 midfielders that I can trust. You go buy one every single summer. Some summers you go cheap. Some summers you go for the home run. You go for the home run with Adam Morton. You got to figure it out. This club, you need midfield. And the fact that, okay, Amram says that we lack energy and pace in midfield. Then what the hell am I linked with the goalkeeper from Belgium for? No disrespect to Lamens. But is goalkeeper really that much of a necessity at this current moment? Yes, I know Andre Onana is not good at the sport of football. Bayindir is even worse. But midfield. If you do not have a good midfield, you stink. It's as simple as that in football. In 2025, you cannot be good as a football club if your midfield is not good. You just can't. You cannot. You can survive a bad goalkeeper. You cannot survive a bad midfield, especially if you're not a good team. Now, if you're a top-level team, then yeah, goalkeeper. You need that final piece of the puzzle, right? Liverpool. Chelsea, in my opinion, their final piece of the puzzle, replace Robert Sanchez. But midfield is needed. It is needed more than a striker. Because I think striker, you can do Cunha and Mbeumo split strikers, Bruno behind, midfield pivot. Menu and I saw someone say Lucien Agume, good player, and Mecha, good player. You need to get bodies, bro. But we need not runners, but we need a technician runner. I don't know how to word it, but you just need someone. You need midfielders. This football club needs midfielders. A club that developed Michael Carrick, a club that gave birth to Paul Scholes, all of a sudden has Manuel Ugarte. And Mason Mount running around doing absolutely nothing with the football. You need midfielders. You need midfielders. I cannot harp it enough. You need midfielders. I cannot watch a midfielder pivot of Ugarte Casemiro. I cannot watch a midfield pivot of Bruno in the midfield. I do not want to watch that. I need midfielders. It is a necessity. It is not a need. It is a necessity. It's not a maybe or assess. No, you need to do it. Yeah, Money Mason can run around, bro. Mason Mount is the greatest person running around on the football pitch. I swear to God, bro. There is not a single player that is better at running around the football pitch and looking like and doing absolutely nothing than Mason Mount. Literally, no one better. But we need midfielders. Defense, we're good. I need Euro. Aiden Heaven. That's why I say, bro, I have a 4-3-3 vision at Manchester United that is a fantastic vision. A vision. A vision post Amarim where United are good. Because Dorgu is a good left back. Not a great left back, but a good left back. In a back four, perfect. Dalo can do the job at right back. Maybe once again, down the line, we assess it. But the midfield, garbage. It is not good. Midfield. I will harp it on until it happens. You cannot ignore the midfield once again. This is what has been holding us back for a decade. You have signed the fantastic attackers. You signed the Martials. You signed the Lukaku. You signed the Zlatans. You signed the Cavani's. You signed the Sanchos. Other than Pogba, who the hell have you signed in midfield that's good? You signed me Uncle Matic. You signed me Fellaini. You signed me Morgan Schneiderlin. You signed me Fred. McTominay was developed. That's different. You signed me Casemiro. You signed me Ugarte. And you signed me Casemiro in 2022. Sign midfielders ASAP and good ones, please. But defense, I'm very happy about. I think Aiden Heaven and Lenny Euro, sensational. I think those two are really, really good. I think fullbacks are good. Diego Leon, I think, again, looks like a better left back than left wing back. Blah, blah, blah. Ahmad, unfortunately, my king, we will have to do right wing back shifts, unfortunately. But one day, we will be back. One day, I think Ahmad's a future 10 at Man United, but that's another debate for another day. Who would be my number one midfielder? With the money, really, realistically, I really like Hayden Hackney, man. I think Hayden Hackney's good. Baleba is like the dream. Adam Morton is the dream, right? I would love Adam Morton. Not taking that money from Bruno, man. I guess I mentioned all last season, right? I've talked about Bruno Fernandes. I've grown an appreciation for him. I no longer like this. I hold him in high regard. But at the same time, you got to take that money as a football club and run. Stop giving these players the opportunity to choose their futures, bro. Garnacho, take down a Napoli because he didn't want to go. Tell him go Napoli, bro. Go win a Serie A. Go win a Scudetto, man. You'll play with Conte. Gotta sell. Not only do the club that's buying a player have to sell to them. At the end of the day, from Manchester United point of view, like just go to them and be like, Garnacho, think about what you're turning down. You can go play for Antonio Conte in Italy. As an Argentinian, the house that Maradona built, Scudetto, in a title race. Go play with your old buddy Scott McTominay. A lot could do good. But no. You let him choose. You have to build a midfield. You can use Garnacho as a bargaining piece to build a midfield. Sure, I would love that. Sancho might go Juventus. Cop, take the money. But the next signing for me needs to be in the midfield. Not maybe striker. Okay, if you give me the right striker, I'm good. I'm happy with that. If you give me Sesko, I'm crashing out. But I need a midfielder. I need a midfielder. So yeah. But in terms of excitement level for this year, at a current moment, it is probably out of a scale of 1 to 10, we're at like a 2. I'm not excited at all. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not excited at all. I like Cunha. I like Mbeumo. Good signing. If you get me a striker, really good. I think United are going to score goals next year. Finally. But from a tactical point of view, I just don't like what we. I don't like what I see, man. I really, really don't. Once again, I don't like what I see, man. I saw a guy that put Toby Collier at right 10. I don't care that it was preseason. Why? So why? Why am I seeing Toby Collier in the right 10? Why am I seeing De Ligt in a pivot? Why? Not too much more excited. But from a sport of football, I think football is in a really good place right now. I think there's a lot of good storylines to talk about. Kevin De Bruyne and Napoli and Liverpool are having a galactical window. What do you think of Dorgu? I think Dorgu's solid. I think he's a good player. I think he's like a 7 out of 10 player. And at left back, you don't always need 10 out of 10. You just need your average, really good standard Joe. Luke Shaw, by the way, speaking of left backs, the face of Luke Shaw, just the presence of Luke Shaw, genuinely annoys me. Like, it really annoys me. It really does. Maybe because that Europa final was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a professional footballer in my life. But his presence really annoys me. Now, Dorgu, I think Dorgu's good, man. I saw the highlights from the preseason game. I think he looked good in the second half. Uh, I think Dorgu's good. Leon, he's got passion. Leon's got, bro. By the way, bro. You know how I know Leon, bro. By the way, Leon already took Amas's chain, but Leon's dad told him before he left, "Do not come back a failure." If that is not enough motivation for you to succeed, I don't know what it is, bro. His pops, dad has told him, "Do not come back a disappointment." Yeah, he's young. He'll be all right. He's South American, bro. He's just gonna shin kick anyway. But yeah, I'm really not excited, man. I think I'm excited to watch some players. I'm excited to watch Cunha because you guys know I have wanted Cunha for a minute. Now, did I imagine him on the left wing, left and whatever? No, not really. I wanted him as a Bruno replacement, but I'm excited for Cunha. And as much as people on my Twitter will love to disagree, because they're gonna say I'm gonna hate on Cunha because I'm a Rashford stan, there's not a better player that I think warranted that number 10 than Matheus Cunha. I'm happy that a player that I've wanted for 2 years is getting the Marcus Rashford jersey. I think that's a good continuation of the 10. And Mbeumo, I think for the price United got him, I think he's really good. I think I like Mbeumo signing. That's baby Salah in a way. I think he's good. But I think, yeah, man, midfielder. Ideally, my ideal window at this current stage, if United can sell enough players, if you could get a striker, 2 midfielders, and a goalkeeper, calm. One, but then it needs to be midfielder, striker, goalkeeper needs to happen. I don't know how United finesse their way around, but I think that needs to happen. But yeah, man, I think that's good. But yeah, honestly, I think it's enough about Man United. We walked for 40 minutes. There's more that we'll talk about when I get back from vacation. Well, yeah, well, hopefully they do some shit. Other clubs though, Liverpool. I just mentioned Liverpool a little bit earlier, but Liverpool are having a window of a lifetime, bro. This is a galactical window. Would I take? I would take Ugochukwu. I can never pronounce the name, but yeah, I don't know what I'm at. Liverpool. Who would have thought Liverpool would get to 21 before United, right? The window, wow. Verts, Ekitike, Frimpong, Kirkes. And the potential of Rodrigo or Isak. Wow. Obviously, first and foremost, speaking of Liverpool, all right, rest in peace to Diogo Jota. That was terrible news. I woke up to that. That was terrible. And unfortunately, in terms of how football goes, I think that did kind of put the pressure on Liverpool to go get that, to spend that bread on the attacker, aka Ekitike, or if Newcastle were more willing to sell Isak, I think that put the little final push for them. I'm not worried. What do I have to worry about Liverpool? They're like decades ahead of me. I'm not worried about Liverpool. I mean, I am worried they're gonna win 21, but I'm in awe of their window. I think it's a great window. Where do I rank that window all time? In terms of Premier League, because obviously all of football is crazy, because the Barcelona and Real Madrid have had some crazy windows. But if it all clicks, in my opinion, it could end up going down as one of the best Premier League windows of all time. It's just a fantastic window. It's crazy. You signed your next, arguably, probably face of the club once Salah leaves, right? Once Salah and Van Dijk leave, Florian Wirtz will be the face of the club. You signed your Trent and Robertson replacements in one summer in Frimpong and in Kirkes. I think Kirkes is one of the best Robertson replacements they could have found. Midfield, you have your Gravenberch and McAllister, who's still very young. Verts will probably float between the left wing and the 10. Zoa's lie, I think, they tried him at right back, which honestly, funnily enough, I think Zoa's lie is a good Trent replacement in terms of what in terms of his profile, that long range passing. I think that's actually a good right back, funnily enough. But yeah, I think Liverpool are having a great window. From a window that potentially 10 months ago we thought wouldn't extend Salah and Van Dijk, would leave on a free. Now Salah stayed, Van Dijk stayed. Trent obviously left to Real Madrid, but you signed replacements and you had Connor Bradley waiting in the wings. Yeah, man, I think they had a great window. And they're set up for a very, very long time. If you're in America and you live in Boston and you're a Red Sox fan, prepare for the worst. But if you're a Liverpool fan, life is good. Life is great. If you're a Manchester United fan, life is miserable. Life's not good. Man City also have had a window. Center back, Konate might get sold, but I think Liverpool want Guehi. I really do wonder who Liverpool go and get as the Van Dijk replacement. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, City, they signed Ryan Shirky. Y'all know I've wanted Shirky for a minute. But again, like every player I like, they just end up going to the ops. What can you say? They signed Shirky. They signed Reinders. I think it's a fantastic signing. What the fuck did they sign? I've lost track of all the signings. Manchester City transfers. They signed Nippon. Ait Nuri as well from Wolves as a good left back. Kyle Walker's at Burnley, which by the way was whoa. Yeah, man. Newcastle might be the most bro. Talk about getting rejected. They got, if you're on Tinder, you just keep getting they swipe the X on you, bro. That was Newcastle, bro. They wanted Mbeumo, no. Wanted Cunha, no. Wanted James Trafford, probably going to City once Ederson gets to Galatasaray gets finalized. What else did they want? Ended up with the language. By the way, I do think is a good signing. Wanted Ekitike, going to Liverpool. Champions League football. Newcastle thought, get UCL football, the money, you'll spend the money, but at the end of the day, it still takes a minute. Because at the end of the day, in football, all these clubs are shopping for the same players. We literally are, bro. Chelsea, Newcastle, Liverpool, United, we're all shopping for Ekitike. And Mbeumo, United and Spurs, but United had a little bit of pull. And Cunha, United pretty much had a free run at Cunha, in my opinion. But yeah, man. They're getting rejected. But I still think they'll be all right. Haircut out. But I think they'll be all right, man. I think they're heading in good direction. Nottingham Forest, MGW was meant to go to Spurs, actually. Which, by the way, I saw highlights of Spurs preseason. I think Thomas Frank looks good. As much as that's going to hurt Jacob, who is the biggest Ange lover in the world, Thomas Frank's a good manager. And I tweeted this when they got Thomas Frank. I said, not only did Spurs win the battle of the Europa League final, they ultimately won the war. Because they sacked their manager and they got a better one. Because Thomas Frank is a top gaffer. And I didn't want him a year ago at United. But a year ago, I was more pretentious. At this current stage, I'm not that as pretentious. And it's hard for me to say no to a lot of managers. I think Thomas Frank is really good. And I think he's going to do really good at Spurs. I think that squad is perfectly built for Thomas Frank because they can play in multiple formations. And he is a very versatile manager. And he also has good principles. And also, he's very adjusting. He will adjust to the game plan. He's not as stubborn as it comes to Ange. And even Ange, to win the Europa League, we saw how he had to adapt. I think Spurs I think Kudus is a good signing. A little bit questionable in terms of very similar profile to Kulusevski. And we already have Madison, but I think that's a good signing. I think they're going to keep Christian Romero, which is good for them as well. Dom Solanke. By the way, Spurs, there's some Spurs fans that don't want Dom Solanke anymore. If your price is 30 mil, I'm dead. bring. But yeah, I think Spurs are going to be good. I think they're definitely like obviously they finished below United. I don't know how that happened, but I would bet the house that Spurs are going to finish above Man United. I really do think so. I think they have a good squad, but yeah, man, I think they're good. I think they're a good position. Chelsea, obviously, signed Bino Gittins, who, by the way, I don't think if you ever mentioned, I watched him in a youth league game against United. I thought that was the best player I've ever seen in my life. João Pedro was sensational in the latter stages of the club World Cup after he signed. I think he's in for that. I think he's gonna have a good season. I think that's a good player. What's the Chelsea sign? Their signings all over the place. I forget. Kendrick Pye, I think he's going on loan. All right, Sam, head me up with your signings, bro. I'm losing track. It's too many people. Midfielders, they sign anyone? Oh, Liam Delap, who already got his chain taken by João Pedro. Now, obviously, no disrespect to Chelsea, right? They can keep doing their thing. It's obviously a working business model for them. But yo, if I'm Liam Delap, and if I'm his agent, I'm looking at like you signed at Chelsea and you were gonna compete with just Nico Jackson, and you're like, okay, that's calm, that's fair, we could do that. Then 2 weeks later, they sign a better player than you and João Pedro. And Nico Jackson, there's no guarantee he leaves because Chelsea do want a good amount of money for him. So not only are you not competing against Nico, or Dallas should fight his agent. At the end of the day, Dallas chose Chelsea, but because I'm pretty sure United probably offered him similar wages. You had the opportunity to just compete against Juan and Xerxes, and let me tell you something, buddy. That's not a hard competition. Yeah, it's sink or swim, obviously, yeah. But like Nico Jackson could easily get back into favor. Nico Jackson's biggest problem is that he's a hothead at the end of the day. But yeah, man, it's tough over there, man. But let me tell you something. There's some scraps at Chelsea. No, it's no longer the scraps like Mason Mount. There's some good players at Chelsea, man, that they're out of favor. I'm there, man. I think United should be looking like Madueke, by the way. I know a lot of Arsenal fans are mad about Noni Madueke. I think Madueke, I was talking about this with my boss, he's an Arsenal fan. Noni Madueke is a great signing for Arsenal. I really do think so. Like, he could play both wings. He's a good dribbler. He's got good prem experience. I think Madueke is a good signing. Now, for the price, is it like the greatest bargain and stuff like that? Not really. And Chelsea made their profit and everything. But I think Noni Madueke is good, man. I really do think so. I think Arsenal fans I understand why they're tight because they want the bigger name. I think they want that Nico Williams, Rafael Leao type winger, Rodrigo. Like, I get that. But I think Madueke is good. I think it's a good signing. It's not great, maybe not great, but I think it's a good signing. I think that does good business, man. I really do think so. But yeah, man. I think the Premier League. I think the summer window of this Premier League has been more success. I think more like signings like. I think like that looks good piece of business more than like what the fuck is going on, right? I think you're seeing more of that kind of business. Brighton, I will be really in touch with Brighton this year because Brighton are now all of a sudden Greek FC, Kostulas, Dimas. So we'll be looking at that. Yeah, man. Personally, disregarding Manchester Red, I'm really excited for the football season. I think there's a lot of good stories. So I didn't even talk about Sunderland, bro. Sunderland. Bro, thank you, Jay. Bro. All right. We failed with Ipswich. All right. I failed you, McKenna Nation, but Sunderland. Last year, I predicted Forest to finish 12th after everyone had them getting relegated. They even exceeded my expectations. Sunderland will finish between 10th and 12th. I might go crazy to say top 10. I have to see how they finish their window. But I love Sunderland's transfer window. Love. A Dingra Loriente wing pairing. Fantastic. fantastic. Still got Enzo Lafitte. Heard they're looking at Granit Xhaka, which is kind of crazy. Wait, what? Oh my god. Nah, take that. I take that back, man. I take that back. Oh my god. What do you mean it fell through? What happened? Oh my. He wanted more wages, man. Yo, he's getting their wages, bro. You go to Sunderland, you hoop, and you get the bigger prem move, bro. Come on, Lori. Think. Like you said, that's not solo. Man. Fuck, bro. All right, no, okay, it goes down a little bit. Let's take it down a notch now. All right, let's go look at the other transfers. All right, we're going down to like 14th now. Adingra, love. Talvi from Bruges. I watched Bruges when I watching Jolis. Good player. And you know how I feel about Morocco. My third home. Reinildo will give you some great performances. The guy that signed from Strasbourg, Diarra, I haven't watched enough of him, but Ligue 1, more than likely you will succeed. Angel Lafitte permanent. They had Jaden Davis on one, which is good. But the guy that signed from Zenit, Isidore, good player. Yeah. Oh yeah, Wolves are cooked. Wolves are cooked. Yeah, Wolves are cooked. It's good GG for them. They had a good run. They had a good run. Brentford also might have just had a good run. Yeah. Not looking good for them, bruv. Let me look at other Premier League transfers. Kyle Walker-Peters to West Ham. Kind of fuck with that, to be honest. Longstaff to Leeds. Speaking of Wolves, though, that John Arias guy that hooped in the Club World Cup is a good signing. Daniel going on loan. Nice. Petrovic to Bournemouth. Yeah. Malik Diouf to West Ham is an interesting one. Jordan Henderson to Brentford. Yeah. Brentford. Put the fries in the bag, man. It's a little cooked. Alanga to Newcastle. I said that I love. One associate to Crystal Palace is kind of crazy. Kudus, Norgard to Arsenal. That one I'm still a little tricky about. I'm like, yeah. Thierno Barry from Villarreal to Everton, by the way. I love that signing. I think Everton are going to finish top 14. You know what? Let's do a quick little Premier League, as of currently stands, little predictions, right? In terms of like the standings. I, of course, have Liverpool as my winners. My top four is the same as last year's. Except I have Liverpool first. I have City second. I have Arsenal third. I have Chelsea fourth. I think Chelsea finished really close to Arsenal. I think that's my four. That's my definitive top four. I think Aston Villa drop. I think Villa finished like around 9th or 8th. I think Villa finished very close to Manchester United. I'm looking at the teams. I think Burnley get relegated. There's no point in them in the Premier League. I think 2 of the 3 promoted teams stay up in Leeds and Sunderland. I think Wolves, Brentford, and Burnley go down as it currently stands. I think Spurs 5th. I'm not mad at that. I like that. I think Spurs 5th. I think Newcastle 6th. I like that. I like that as my top 6. I think United finished between 7th. I think United finished between 7th and 12th. Are Brighton in European football because of the Palace news? I forgot. That might. I like Brighton though. I think. Try to calculate. All right. So I have my top 6, right? If Isak leaves Newcastle, yeah, I like the signings that Brighton made though. JJ. Yeah, we have the 6. All right, we're gonna go. Oh, I forgot about. What the hell did Bournemouth do? Cameron used to give it up, bro. Petrovic. Yeah, no, they're. I think Brentford are due for a downfall. I'm not gonna lie. United might finish like 7th or 8th. Yeah, I'm gonna have United 8th. I'm gonna go Villa 7th. I'm gonna go United 8th. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Brighton 9th. Brighton 9th. Fulham 10th. Bournemouth 11th. Palace 12th because I do think they lose Eze. Sunderland 13th. Forest 14th. I think Forest will do for a huge downfall. Then the rest could fucking finish wherever the fuck they want, to be honest. I said everything. I like everything. Once a week, Moyes is kind of cold, man. I think Spurs finished 5th, man. I think their squad is perfect. I think their squad is really good, man. I think if they signed that one midfielder, bro, I think they're good, man. I really do think so. Maybe another wing. Wait, was Matisse tell me permanent? No, right? He went back to Bayern. Excuse me. Oh no, Matisse got made permanent. So you got Tell permanent, Danso made permanent, Kudus. Sign a midfielder, man. I think Spurs finish. I think Spurs are good to finish 5th. I think Spurs are good to finish 5th. But yeah, obviously we still got a lot of the window. But I think honestly, when I look at these teams, I think United could be better than some. But at the end of the day, we'll see, man. See we sign a midfielder. I mean, yeah, they have cool stuff too, though. Don't forget JJ. They have cool stuff too. So I think they're good. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, we did an hour. It's good to be back. Unfortunately, I will be gone again for 2.5 weeks because vacation. But it's good to chat with you guys. I'm actually surprised we still had this many people alive after being gone for 2 months. So I appreciate y'all always rocking with me. And I do think City signed one more defender, to be honest. But I don't see Pep finishing that low back-to-back seasons, but we'll see, man. Also, Rodri's back for a full year. We'll see, though. I do think, though, that top 4 in the Premier League, we say this every year, but I do think this year will be a lot closer. I think Liverpool, now you have to get used to some of these you have to get used to Berts and stuff like that. So it might take a minute to adjust, right? Don't forget last year, it was just slot coming in, but the squad had continuity and stuff like that. I think this year you have a little bit more to tweak with. I think Chelsea should be primed for a good season. I think Arsenal should be good. But yeah, we'll see, man. I think it's gonna be a good Premier League season. I think in general, I think the Champions League I'm excited for. I think obviously Madrid, you have Javi Alonso leading the charge now. By the way, when I watch Real Madrid PSG live, obviously it is just a Club World Cup at the end of the day, and a lot of these guys were tired. But I will continue to say this: Vinicius and Mbappe as a duo will not win a La Liga or Champions League. As a duo, I do not like them at all. think Xavi Alonso has a lot to work with. I think Barcelona are primed for a big season again. Bundesliga, I think Bayern are going to run away with it. By the way, Ten Hag lost to Flamengo under 20s. The happiness that brought me, man. The happiness that brought me, man. He could hold that. Serie A, really excited for. I think we'll see Inter without Simone Inzaghi. I think Napoli, De Bruyne, the Simone Luca guy they signed. I think Napoli are going to be a fun team to watch. Atleti signed Baena and a couple other players. Apparently the favorites for Anthony. Don't know how that happened, but yeah, man. I think it's going to be a good Champions League season. Got a lot of new teams in there as well. I think it's really exciting football season, man. Can't wait. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Inter probably are going to fall off a cliff, but we'll see. We'll see what Milan with Allegri returning looks like as well. Roma, Gasperini. A lot of good talk to talk about. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back in 3 weeks from today. Yeah, 3 weeks from today. Baleba or Lamine Camara? Baleba, more of a ground eater, I guess. A little bit more physical. Like Lamine Camara, though. Monaco, La Pioche, Pogba's back. Let's not forget about that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Because I miss talking to you, Staff P. It is so hard, but I don't got to be there, bro. I got stuff to do. It's okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to you guys. Hope you enjoy your summer. Don't focus too much on United. Go outside. Enjoy the sun. Go to the beach. Most of you guys are living in New York, so the water's not disgusting. Go enjoy your life. Don't focus too much on Manchester United, guys. There's better things ahead of you. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out, my boys.